back. We're continuing with side 3 of Physical Graffiti. That's Dev.
Hi, guys.
I'm Mike. We're music for busy people.
Yes, we are.
We're going through our Zeppathon.
Still. What are we listening to today?
We're listening to 3 songs from side 3. We already listened to In the Light. That was our last 2 videos. Today we're listening to Bron-Yr-Aur, Down by the Seaside, and 10 Years Gone.
They're going to tell us if it's right or not.
Welsh people, did I get that right? Bron-Yr-Aur? Before we get into the songage, let me just quickly say thank you to our patrons, as we always do. I would also like to make my normal plea for the subscribe button clicking. Please click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, because we really need subscribers. We're a young channel and it'll really help us out. If you like us, please do that. If you haven't checked out our Patreon yet, where you been? Come on over. Take a look at it. The link's on the screen now, I assume, and in the description. We have extra videos there for our patrons, and it's a nice, fun little community. See you there! And I would also like to thank you commenters. Those comments keep it very interesting for us. We really appreciate them.
And educated.
Liking the video, that helps as well. Sharing the video helps. So whatever you'd like to do to help us out, that's fine. I'd also like to mention that we have a thanks button. It may or may not be on this video, because it doesn't always appear. If you feel like giving us a one-time tip/donation, hit the super thanks button. We'd appreciate it. Any donation of $5 or more we'll recognize in the next video.
Thanks, guys.
So you got that going for you, which is nice. We're going to be listening to the 3 studio tracks on this video, and then we're going to listen to some live 10 Years Gone on part 2. So if you're liking the Led Zeppelin live stuff, you're going to want to tune into that one.
Let's do it.
The link will be in the description, and you'll see it pop up at the end of the video. So let's start with Bron-Yr-Aur. You've heard this one before, even if you didn't think you've heard it before.
No, I
Dev,
know, because
it was in the movie. No.
Oh, really? We haven't listened to this song at all in any translation.
No, you're thinking of The Cottage. It's named after the cottage where they wrote a lot of the Led Zeppelin 3 songs.
Yeah.
And this song was written for Led Zeppelin 3, but not used. So here it is coming up when they need filler on Physical Graffiti.
Okay.
And when I say the term filler, I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
No.
Because the filler, I'm referring to the songs that aren't like the epic, intense songs. Because you can't have those one after the other. You can't have In the Light followed by 10 Years Gone. You need some lighter songs, some easier listening in between.
It's the breadbasket.
When you listen to the whole album, they really color it well, and it makes the listening experience much more enhanced. So you've heard this song before because it was in The Song Remains the Same movie. They were driving to the concert, and they were playing the song in the background.
Yep.
And it was spelled differently in another song called Bron-Yr-Aur Stomp. I'm going to guess this one's the correct spelling. Okay, here we go with Bron-Yr-Aur. This is like, relax, listeners of Physical Graffiti. Take a short break. It's a nice ringing sound on the guitar.
It's totally a painting song.
I don't know if that's a reverse echo or something that just showed up there for a split second. That. quite a long sustain there at the end.
Yeah. I was just walking through a flowery meadow.
Yeah. I like the little squeaks in there. A very nice ring to the guitar sound, too.
It's twang. It's twanging.
And that will segue into Down by the Seaside, which is definitely a different song for them. This was also written in the Led Zeppelin 3 days and was supposed to be an acoustic number. But they ended up recording it on Led Zeppelin 4 sessions. Didn't use it on Led Zeppelin 4. And they made it more electrical.
So from the country to the seaside. Okay.
I believe Robert Plant was a big country rock fan. Like Neil Young, Crosby, Stills and Nash, those kind of, Joni Mitchell, that kind of stuff. Neil Young did a song Down by the River that probably was the kind of song that they were thinking of. Okay, Down by the Seaside, third song on side 3. Nice little shuffle beat. That is heavy vibrato on the guitar.
Down by the seaside, see the boats go sailing. Can the people hear? Oh, what the little fish are saying.
He sounds so young. Fun. All right.
Quite a change for them. They can do everything. It's a very pure guitar sound, not a lot of distortion.
People turn away. People turn away. Down in the city streets, see all the folk go racing, racing. No time left. No, no. That's the time you're paying.
I definitely am feeling the Seaside.
They're good at playful. They are very good at playful music.
I agree.
People turn away. People turn away. So far away, so far away.
An extreme change there. Okay. We just ventured into Led Zeppelin land.
See Hollywood,
They handled that tricky tempo change pretty seamlessly. This sounds like a key change, like a minor key maybe. It's definitely more menacing.
You still do the twist. Do you find you remember things that well?
This is like 3 songs.
Twisting every
Yep.
day.
Like many of their songs.
It's awful hard to tell.
Another seamless transition right there. Bonzo's the master of those seamless transitions.
Out in the country, hear the people singing,
I like the little guitar accents.
singing about the growing, knowing where they're going. Yeah.
No rush. It's still a fairly long song for this kind of song.
She will come back again.
I can't help but sway.
What was that last one? The last lyric of that? Will you play it? Guys, help a girl out. I hear, don't you know the devil wins?
So we just looked it up, and apparently it's "Don't They Know That They're Going."
So apparently I just hear the devil in songs.
Good.
I live in that place. I
Yeah.
fool everybody else. I'm okay with that.
Don't they know that they're going? Yeah, that probably wouldn't have fit on Led Zeppelin 4 greatly. Although maybe the reason they left it off is because of that odd tempo change. It goes from a shuffle beat to a quicker rock beat and then back, which is kind of an odd thing to do. And they pulled it off very well, but because Stairway to Heaven has that kind of odd transitioning, maybe they didn't want to have that again on another song on the same album.
It just seems like a very different song. It's allowed to be all kind of meandering paths.
Apparently, a lot of their songs started out as Led Zeppelin 3 acoustic stuff, and then they transformed
They're
them
like,
into
nope.
more standard songs for them.
I bet that happens to a lot of artists. You know, you hear the music first and then the words come, or you have a partner who can write the words.
I didn't hear any bass guitar. I think he was just playing keyboards and the foot pedal. Twice, John Paul Jones does a keyboard transition, and that playing is reminiscent of Floyd Cramer, who was a piano player from the 60s.
Country. 70s country.
Floyd Cramer was a piano player, and I believe he did do a lot of country-like songs. But he had a style, I think it's called slip note or something, where
Neat.
slip note is where you play, let's say you're playing a chord or notes in a chord, but instead of just playing the note, you'll play a quick note beforehand that isn't in the chord. It's like an odd note that doesn't really go with the chord, so it gives it an interesting texture. I'm going to play a sample from a song, 1960, Floyd Cramer. It's called Last Date. Let's see if it sort of sounds like the same style.
What a classic. Are you playing it, hon?
You see how when he hits the chords, he doesn't just hit the chord, he plays a quick note beforehand?
No.
Here. Blink, 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 blink.
The cheese stands alone.
Okay.
I'm glad you can hear it, though.
There's a technical term for it. I can't think of what it's called, like a nice Italian name or something. It's on the screen now.
Woo! Floating bubbles.
I have a surprise for you, honey.
Right.
No, it's really a surprise that you're going to like.
Okay.
There's a cover version of this song by your girl Tori Amos.
Oh, hells yeah!
There you go. It's from 1994. It was on a Led Zeppelin tribute album.
Nice.
But here's the other surprise. It's actually a duet with Robert Plant.
He sings with her?
So Robert Plant sings with her on this song, and it's on a Led Zeppelin tribute album, which is interesting. Wow. That is incredibly different.
Deep and fast.
How did they get this song? That's cool, though.
Yeah, that's her playing.
It got a little darker than usual.
Number
Yeah, that's cool.
Seeing boats go sailing, can the people hear what the little fish say?
Wow. It's a dark jazz lounge. Like an evil jazz lounge.
That sounds like her piano.
I'm sure she's playing the piano, yeah.
Down in the city streets, all the folk go racing.
Does it remind you of him with Alison Krauss?
Pass the time all day.
Wow, even his voice is.
Yeah.
Wow. He just went somewhere else with it.
This is his later career. This is more like his style of singing. I wonder if she's going to take over lead at all.
People turned away.
So he's doing harmony there.
People turned away.
But we like covers that go in a different direction.
Out in the country, hear the people sing, singing about the growing, knowing where they're going. Oh yeah, oh yeah. People turned away. People turned away.
I'm close to speechless, which is odd for me.
I'm only sinking. I'm only sinking. I'm only sinking. I'm only
Can you still do the twist? Do you find you remember things that well? Oh, some folk twisting every day. Oh, sometimes it's awful hard.
That's my bitch.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Yes, you will.
Drums just woke up.
Yes, totally see the wave of that part, that chorus or whatever. Extra long. I get that. Man, her piano. Thanks, honey. That was such a sweet gift.
Okay, we'll leave it in. I was just saying, how often do you
She's
hear
very underrated.
a Led Zeppelin cover that's longer than the original? Actually, Tool's No Quarter was longer than the original, I think. So so there's another example of that, but it's not very often. But I do enjoy covers that go in a different direction, and boy, did that go in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really familiar too well with Tori Amos. I recognize her voice, obviously, but would you say that's her typical style?
Yeah. Well,
For
when she
does that kind
her
of song?
peak, yes, that was her typical style. So it was equal parts, like there's melancholy in there, but there's also like the beauty of something that is dark and slightly like a little bit creepy, but also she does heartbreak pretty good, at least in my world.
Get it out, hon. Whatever else you want to say about Tori Amos, this is your chance. This may be the only
reason that I can play the piano in my sleep. Not like I'll dream about it, not actually play it, but I've had full-length dreams where I'm just sitting there coming up with songs.
What you find when you're like preteen or teen is definitely sticks with you a long time. Our Welsh viewers are going to like this. Guess who my favorite musical artist was when I was 5? He's Welsh.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. No. Wait. I'm gonna put Tom Jones.
Score one for the girls.
He was my favorite. That's the first favorite I can remember.
That makes so much sense.
Where I would have asked
him.
my mother or father like to buy that album, buy me a Tom Jones album. I had Tom Jones. I remember this. When I was 5, I owned the album Tom Jones Live at the Flamingo in Las Vegas. When you listen to music and you're that young, you don't know any of the context of it. You just enjoy the music purely.
Imprint on it.
Yeah.
You did that. I'm glad you did that.
Most Led Zeppelin fans love this next song, so this will be the highlight for a lot of us.
Okay. All right.
Another epic song.
All right. Whoa.
Which is why it had to be a double album. You couldn't put all this stuff on one. 10 Years Gone was supposed to be an instrumental. It's got many layered guitars. I think I read somewhere where like there's 14 guitar parts or something. I don't know.
I'm having a deja vu like you would not believe.
There's many guitar parts that he overdubbed onto themselves, and that's what it was going to be. And then Robert Plant was inspired to write some lyrics and singing, so it became a non-instrumental. So we're going to be listening to live 10 Years Gone, don't forget, in the next video, part 2 of this video. So head there after that if you would like to. I would if I were you. It was written about his first love, who didn't want to date a singer, I guess. Didn't like where he was going with his career, so he had to dump her. I think she gave him an ultimatum.
Good call, man.
And he wrote this song
Sorry.
10 years after that happened. You know.
Gotcha. 10
Okay.
years ago. Okay.
Final song on side 3, 10 Years Gone.
Oh, great. It's going to be sad.
It's going to go to many emotions.
Well, if it was real love, you remember forever, you know? Just carry it around with you.
Well, he wrote the music before he knew what it was about. Love that riff. Once again, Jimmy Page, the master of a simple yet compelling riff. It's pretty.
Then as it was, then again it will be. Though the course may change sometimes, rivers always reach the sea. Flying skies of fortune,
The entrance gives me chills.
each have separate way. On the wings of maybe, downy birds of prey. Kinda makes me feel sometimes I didn't have to go. But as an eagle leaves the nest, got so far to go.
Circle back to the opening. Taking their time with the building, it's beautiful.
Changes fill my time, baby, that's alright with me. In the midst I think of you and how it used to be.
Interesting bass. It's a great transition.
Play it, Jimmy.
So many things going on with the guitars.
You ever really need somebody?
Pick it up.
And really need 'em by? Did you ever really want somebody?
This chord's cool.
Love you ever hide? Do you ever remember me, baby? Did it feel so good?
Very intense bridge.
'Cause it was just the first time, and you knew you were.
That's awesome. Good for you, man.
It's a masterpiece.
Beauty eyes now sparkle.
Another layer.
Senses going keen. Tasting love along the way. See if ever spring. Kinda makes me feel sometimes getting happy. We are eagles on one nest. The nest is in our soul. surprise to me. Never thought I'd see your face the way it used to be. Oh, darling. Oh, darling. Oh.
It's a very majestic finish. Look, there's like 8 guitars right now.
I can see that when you just casually put on and sing along in the background.
One thing I think was a very interesting choice, but it definitely works, and I couldn't imagine it without it. Did you notice there was a part where he sang a final note loudly, but it was dissonant, like off key or whatever? It was not what note you would expect.
No.
All right, I'm going to play that again.
Okay.
But just listen to it. It's intentional, and it definitely...
What do they do that's not intentional at this point? I mean, even their playful
It's
stuff
very
is
interesting that he
intentionally
chose that.
playful.
Here it comes.
'Cause it was just the first time, and you knew you were.
It is a slight off.
He chose that to make a more intense moment there. That's why you do.
He
use
always sings
dissonant-
it that way?
Yeah. Like I said, it was intentional, and he sings it that way in concert, I think. We're going to listen to live versions. When it gets to that point, let's see if he sings that same note.
Yeah.
It could have been like a Bob Ross happy accident. I mean, I'll give you that. Commenters, what do you think?
Purposeful?
I like it,
Happy
though.
accident.
Normally you hear a note like that and it makes you cringe. It doesn't make you cringe.
Well, if he was or wasn't, he owned it, so that's the point.
Well, that didn't disappoint me. I haven't heard that in a long time, and it did not disappoint me. I love that song.
What do you
And-
think of that song? How does that make you feel?
I just told you. Oh, how does it make me feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not sad. I mean, reflective, but then hopeful at the end. And the way that the guitars build in that song, and there's so many different guitar parts and different riffs that he blends together. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got 14, but there's definitely layering of it.
Well, there might be 14 parts that he overlaid, but there's not like 14 guitars playing simultaneously or anything like that.
Right. No, I thought
But it
that
felt
was
like there
gonna
were like
be-
like a half dozen guitars playing at the same time.
I thought it was going to be sad, but it wasn't.
I believe when
feel
they
like it was
first
sad.
started touring after this album, they didn't do this song for obvious reasons. They had too many guitar parts. But then I found some live versions that came a little later,
Of course you did.
a couple of years later,
Okay.
where John Paul Jones plays extra parts on like a mandolin and a guitar.
All right.
I think he had like a multi-neck guitar. Why are you putting your headphones back in?
Where's the live?
We're going to do that next video,
Oh.
which is coming up. It should be out there. We'll see you there.
Bye.
Love you guys. Today we're listening to Bron-Yr-Aur? No, Bron-Yr-Aur. Today we're listening to Bron-Yr-Aur? I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't laugh at me. Is it possible for me to say those 3
Sorry.
songs without her saying or
Sorry.
laughing or making a
Okay.
sound?
All right. Go for it.
Today we're listening to Bron-Yr-Aur. Down by the Seaside. Bron-Yr-Aur. Bron-Yr-Aur. Bron-Yr-Aur.
Try it in Irish accent or Scottish.
Welsh.
I'm trying to think of Sean Connery right now and how he would say it.
Sean Connery. Bron-Yr-Aur.